Welcome to this week's Life at Home video. My name is Oreoluwa Shonola. I'm your household management expert and the founder of Made for Me Services. I'm here to ensure that the systems in your home that make the day-to-day running of your home what it is are structured so that your home can thrive without overwhelming you and it can function and run seamlessly without you micromanaging. Before we go into today's video, I want to ask, how was life at home last week? I hope your answers go beyond just fine, it was normal. I want to hear answers like I finally started to get the rest that I desire at home. I'm thriving. Everyone at home is happy. My routines and schedules are working seamlessly, right? If that's not your answer yet, not to worry. Excellent household management is a process, it's not a final destination. We keep improving, we keep evolving over time. So don't get discouraged. Now, in this week's video, I want to talk about a definition of household management I found so interesting last week. And it was by R.P. Davis that says household management is making the best use of what a family has to achieve what the family wants. I love that definition so much. Making the best use of what a family has to achieve what a family desires, what a family wants. I love that definition so much because when people think of excellent household management, they sort of talk about it in future terms. When I have this, I'll be able to do this. When I have a domestic staff, I will have more time. When I have more time off work, I'll be able to spend more time with my children. When I have more money, I'll be able to commit to a more balanced meal plan. When I have this, I'll be able to do this. But this definition puts household management into perspective. It's saying making the best use of what the family has at hand to achieve what the family wants, right? So I want you to start to think of your household management in terms of the present. What do I have now? And what do I want to achieve in my family with what I have now? So, for example, let's separate this definition of household management into two. First of all, there is what you have now, the resources you have now, and then there is what you want to achieve. So it means that there has to be a family goal, right? There has to be a goal that you want to achieve. Because if there's no goal, then you won't be able to maximize the resources you have now. So, for example, if your goal is to spend more time with your children, stop thinking of it in a way that, if I have more time off work, then I'll be able to spend more time with the children. The question is, with the 2 hours or with the 3 hours I get to spend at home right now, how can I make the best use of it, right? How can I structure that time to have enough time to spend with my children, right? Let's say you budget your expenditure for the family for the month, and you are saying, okay, things are so expensive in the market right now, we cannot afford to eat certain foods. The question is, how can you make the best use of the resources, the financial resources you have now, to achieve your goal of a balanced meal for the family weekly, right? So this definition helps us put into perspective the fact that household management is something that should be looked at in the present, not in the future terms. Making the best use of what you have now. How can you make the best use of the space you have now? Don't say, okay, when we move to a bigger house, a 5-bedroom duplex, my home will be cleaner because we will have less clutter. But now that you have a 3-bedroom apartment, how can you make the best use of that space right now to achieve the goal of cleanliness around the home, right? Maybe you think to yourself, okay, if I had 2 domestic staff, my house would be cleaner, I would have more time, I wouldn't have to be so involved. How can you make the best use of one domestic staff that you have now to achieve the goal that you want, which is a clean home, right? Less micromanagement, um, better structure, execution of the solutions that you have created to make your home run seamlessly, right? So I want you to take this definition into this new week as you go, making the best use of what the family has right now to achieve the goal the family wants. Whatever your goal is, if your goal is to have more fun as a family, if your goal is to have, more rest at home, if your goal is to have consistency with the systems and the structure, how can you make the best use of the resources? And don't think of resources in terms of just finances. Think of resources in terms of the intangible and the tangible. Your time is a resource, right? the country you live in is a resource, because there are some things, there are some privileges you have in the country you live in you might not even have in another country. So you might say, okay, if I was not living in this country, I would have been able to do this and that. Okay, how can you make the best use of the environment you currently live in to achieve your family's goals, right? This is what I wanted to take into the new week, and I think this is even a perfect place to begin your household management journey on. First of all, think of a goal you want to achieve, and then start to take account of the resources that you have. Then start to ask yourself, how can I make the best use of these resources to get the result that I desire? I'll see you with another video next week. I'm so happy to be able to add value to your home every week. My name is Oriolu Washonola, and I remain your household management expert. See you next week.